Hey there, Jen Blanchard. Take off my mask because I am alone today, coming to you from one of my listings at Countryside Manor in Basking Ridge. This is a really good example of a property that came on the market at the right price, cream puff perfect. We had showing after showing, we accepted an offer, and then we had 3 additional offers come in. My clients decided to hold them as backup because the offer they had was just that good. It was solid, had many terms that were appealing to my clients. Not always about price. It's often about price, but it's not always about only price. If you're new to my channel, by all means, please subscribe. I post videos on a pretty regular basis, definitely 1 or maybe 2 monthly market videos. You'll always see a video for my single family home listings and many of my condos. I have a series called A Few Minutes with Jen, answering all of your real estate questions. If you've been watching for a while, you know that I do my best work unscripted. I don't like to read a script, but I do this time have to hold my paper because it is now the end of December, the end of one of the craziest years we have ever had, and I realize that I haven't done a December market update. So that is what I'm here for today, to share with you a little bit of information about the December market in Basking Ridge, and we'll talk about what's coming up for 2021. Say that slow. 2021. 2020 did not win. 2021 is going to be better. Okay, so here in Basking Ridge, in the month of December, we have seen 26 contract sales, 15 new listings. 6 of those new listings are already under contract. That's pretty telling. Things are moving quickly. In 2020, there have been 472 properties listed here in Basking Ridge. There have been 461 contract sales, 442 closings. So those are just numbers, okay? They're not in and of themselves all of that remarkable. It's just information. Better to look at it in a trend. One thing that I can tell you anecdotally, if you were to ask me on any given day of the year, how many properties are usually for sale in Basking Ridge, I would tell you without hesitation, anywhere between 180 and 220 properties on the market at any given time. If you've been watching these videos or even just listening to the news or reading the paper, you know that we are in a clear seller's market. Inventory levels are very, very low. Properties are moving very, very quickly when they're priced right. Right now, there are only, are you ready? 64 properties on the market in Basking Ridge. 64. It's like a crazy number. It's really super low. It is tempting to say that, well, it's the holidays, it's the time of year, so things are slow. If that was the case, then we wouldn't be fielding phone calls from buyers either. If everybody really was, hunkering down because of the holidays or whatever, we would see a consistent slowdown, but we're not seeing that. Carl and I and Jerry and Maria, who's joined us recently, we're fielding calls from buyers every day. Carl's out right now showing buyers. I was out last night showing buyers. So it's not that the market is slow. It's that inventory really is low for many reasons. On any given day, if you call me up and say I want to look at houses, we're going to be looking at what's currently on the market, unless there's something brand new. And if you're a new buyer, you're probably not ready to move so quickly anyway. But what you're looking at is properties that have been on the market for quite some time. Really what you need to do is set yourself up with a realtor and make sure that realtor knows exactly what you're looking for and will keep on top of the market for you, so that when you're seeing a new listing, if it's days on the market, 11, 12, 15, and you say you want to see it and we tell you it's sold, that's disappointing. All that said, you do have to keep in mind, as a buyer in this market, you will very likely be competing or trying to bring a seller down to a number that they're not comfortable with. Let's talk about 2021. People are still asking me, are we looking at a crash? Are we facing a situation where we're going to have lots of foreclosures? Here's the thing. Are people going to foreclose on their houses because of the pandemic? Yeah, they will. There's a lot of industries out there that were hit really hard and there very well may be some foreclosures happening. Many homeowners right now, though, have a lot of equity in their house. So if they're faced with not being able to pay their mortgage, there's a good chance if they get the right guidance that they may not have to foreclose. If they do foreclose, I just explained to you how our inventory levels are so low. This comes from the chief economist at the National Association of Realtors. Any foreclosure increases will likely be quickly absorbed by the market. There's no inventory. When something forecloses and a bank owns it, they put it back on the market and they sell it. They don't want to carry inventory. So now there's a new listing on the market and there's like 10 buyers for it. So that foreclosure did not impact the market at all. In fact, it was better for the market because now we had another house to sell. This is from the chief economist at Realtor.com. We expect home sales in 2021 to come in at 7% above 2020 levels. That's sales activity, not prices. We're going to follow probably a more normal seasonal trend, building our momentum through the spring as we typically do, and sustaining that pace throughout the second half of the year. While home sales are expected to lose some momentum over the last months of 2020, which it really hasn't, as I already explained, the shallower than normal seasonal slowdown creates a higher base of activity going into 2021. That's going to be maintained for the first quarter, maybe even the first half of the year. And as these vaccines become more widely available and economic growth reflects a resumption of more normal activities, we're going to start seeing normal patterns of consumer spending, and home sales are going to gain even more in the second half of the year. 2021 is stacking up to be just as stellar as 2020 was in terms of the real estate market. So here's another question. In this frenzy, are we going to end up with another burst, bubble burst, or crash, market, whatever you want to call it? Such a frenzy of activity reminiscent to 2006 when it was very easy to get a mortgage raises questions about a bubble. But here's the thing, there's no comparison. And I've told you this if you've been watching my channel several times over the course of the past 6 or 8 months. Back in 2006, dubious adjustable rate mortgages taxed many buyers' budgets. You could get a loan without showing proof of income. It was crazy back then. Anyway, so today buyers are taking out 30-year fixed rate mortgages at rates, by the way, that are under 3% still, 2.5% even in some cases. Inventory is less than half of what it was back in 2006. Home builders are underproducing relative to historical averages. We're not going to have a repeat of 2008. It's just not going to happen. Mark my words.